So hello, welcome to my weekly update. Today is the 3rd of November. It's November, guys. Halloween is over. I didn't really do anything for Halloween. I never do. What I do is I just switch my buzzer off for my call entry system and I just get on with life. It just doesn't do anything for me, and I'll probably be the same over Christmas. Don't think I'm one of these people. I'm just quite happy being on my own, just me and my cats. So what's been happening? So I say not a lot, but loads. I think I've said that a few times before, haven't I? So I have been on holiday this last week. I've still got another few days left, and then I've got a few extra days booked off for next week, end of next week. It was supposed to be for Telford, but unfortunately I just can't make Telford. I'm absolutely skint, and I'm moving house in just over a month. Oh my god, it's coming up, it's creeping up. So 22nd of December I shall be moving house, which is a terrible time to move, in my opinion, but we'll see what we can do with it. So this week I have been filming, as I keep bleating on about it. For the month of December my channel turns into Christmassy. I know I'm going on about Christmas in November, and I pretty much have the opinion that Christmas build-up starts on the 1st of December. If you're any earlier than December, I don't want to know. But when you are making something, whether you're a crafter or a YouTuber, you do need to start planning these things beforehand. I tried to do something like this last year, and I found that 2-3 months preparation just wasn't enough. So from the 1st of December, my channel just completely turns into something else. We will be doing we'll be doing an advent calendar, an advent mystery. Now I've not been filming much of that this week. The main reason is that each individual episode is actually quite quick. We sometimes do a recap at the beginning of the video. I then give you the clues. I then give you my thoughts. End of video. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's not quite so short. I've done 9 episodes and we have got 24 to do in total. Please forgive me if you see me looking in that direction. I have my spreadsheet, so I know exactly what I've done. It's all colour coded. I'm a right old geek when it comes to spreadsheets. So I can see that I've got 9 done. Now the big one that I'm working on from Christmas Day is going to be the 12 days of Airfix starter sets. I have now officially finished 6 of them, which means I've got 6 to go, and it's going really well. I've tried to build them from the perspective of a first time builder, so some of the kits aren't built brilliantly. They're built to the standard that if your teenage boy did a kit for the first time ever and he made it to the standard that I've done it, you'll go, oh, that's really good, but there is still some work to do. So, and I do think as the plan is going, they're getting a little bit better. I am introducing new pieces of equipment. I'm doing it as a modelling journey more than here's 12 kits, get in there and build them. But I've come up with a brilliant idea. It's not for, I've got all these plans for next year, but nothing for this year. So tell me what you think, guys. Some of these kits that I'm doing, they're not fantastic, and one of them is the standard that I am as a modeler. I would consider it a fail. It really depends on what level you're at. It's a good kit. The kit's gone together. You can see exactly what it is. But the standard that I should be putting out, it is a complete and utter failure. Now, I'm introducing a new piece of equipment every day. So what I'm thinking is next year for the 12 days of Christmas, maybe I could revisit those kits, but I'm using all of the equipment that I have. So I can say, right guys, we're going to be building this. I built this time last year. if you've never built a kit before, go back and have a look, and this is how I did it as a beginner. Let's see what I've got, what I can do now that I've got all of this. I've got the airbrush, I've got the I've got the fancy lights, I've got the paint brushes, I've got the thinners, you know, and who does. So that's just an idea I've got for next year. I still need to work something out for the Advent, but that's a year away. I have had a couple of Advent calendar ideas pushed towards me, but because I've already started on the mystery, I can't do it. One is a game, and it looks absolutely fantastic. If you're a miniature painter, this will appeal to you. There's a company, they do two games. One is a fantasy based, or more fantasy, and one is more sci-fi based, to sort of appeal more to the 40k players. And each day, each window, you get a miniature, and then you can paint that miniature. The next day you get another miniature, and by the time you get to Christmas Day, you rip out the board game. You've got the playing board, and then you've got the rules, and you've got these 24 figures that you've been painting over the last month, and you can play a game. I think it's called Bar Brawl or something like that, and that looks really good. And then there's another one. It's a Lego kind of style Christmas tree where you get a few little bricks every day, and they look quite good. So I don't know. I'll think of something. So channel wise, let's go through the channel. So Monday we had ET issues 40 and 41. So like I keep saying, I haven't, when I did the last ET, I forgot to write on my spreadsheet what we actually did. So all I can really tell you is we did issue 40 and 41. I know I enjoyed it because I enjoy every single issue of ET, and I cannot recall not liking any of them. I think we did the less interesting bits, which is we're now starting to build the sides up, I think. Now I may have another pack of ET on its way. I may have a pack of RoboCop. I may have a pack of Infinity Gauntlet coming. Fanhome has sent me something. It's been paid for, and Fanhome have shot themselves in the foot as far as I'm concerned. They sent me a notification saying, oh, it's on its way. But they used to use Royal Mail for postage, and now they use, it's either Yodel or Every. I think it's Yodel. But I have the apps for Every and Yodel, so every time I get a parcel, provided they've got my email address, which more often than not they do, it pops up on the app. And I'm tracking this parcel through the Yodel app, and it sat there for a week saying still with sender, still with sender, still with sender. So either Yodel aren't picking it up, or Fanhome haven't sent it. So this 2-week delay, you know, between paying for it and receiving it, from a customer point of view, it looks like because it's all because Fanhome are dragging their heels. It might be something else. As Building with the Boys say, it might not be, you know, it might not work like that. I really don't know. I don't send parcels out much. Talking of Fanhome, I will get to this later on. I have unsuspended my Infinity Gauntlet. I gave them a ring. I give them a ring every couple of weeks to see if issue 77 is back in. But I will get to that when I get to Thursday. So this coming Monday will be RoboCop, and we will be starting on stage 2 and 3 of the Pelvis. And if memory serves me right, after you have watched Monday's episode, tomorrow's episode, we will have the Pelvis and we will have one leg attached. Once you've watched the following episode, we will definitely have two. I know that I have a model right now in my house that has two legs together. So that's really coming along. And one of the things that surprised me, I'll probably end up saying this again in a couple of weeks, suddenly we've built it and I'm like, oh, we're on stage 50 of a 100-week build. We're halfway through. So I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. So Tuesday, I hope you enjoyed last Tuesday, because that is the one that gave me a big push. It was the Warhammer. It was part 2 of issue 33, and it was the Night Judicator. It was, where has he gone? Where has he gone? He is here, and this is him. Almost, let me put my finger there, and then that is what he looks like as of Tuesday just gone. And I really enjoyed him. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm doing it as the magazine says. So we're not completely painting the models, we're just using the paints that we've got. And in a later issue we'll get another pot of paint, so we'll be able to complete more of the figures. And then once we get to issue 80, we'll have all of the figures completely painted. Now, if you're watching my videos from a learning point of view, you don't understand that. You don't know what a layer paint is. You don't know what an edge highlight is, because they haven't got to that stage yet in the magazine. Now, okay, you could make that argument with Partworks. You know, we're building the Lancaster. You don't know what the tail is like, because we haven't come to the tail yet. We've come to the engine, we've got the wing frame, but you don't know what the outside of the wing looks like, because we haven't got there yet. So if I start bleating on about, oh, the tail gunner, this, that and the other, you would have the right to say, but there is no tail gunner. We haven't reached that stage yet. Which is a fair point. Let me just raise my chair, guys. I'm ever so sorry. I've kind of rearranged my overhead camera. This is my laptop. And I like this position, which is high up. And it works really well. But when I'm painting, where I lean forward, my head gets in the way. And I've noticed that if I lower my chair, I'm now painting like this. So I'm like this, but the camera's coming down, and it works. So you will see a few videos coming up in the next few weeks where my head gets in the way, and that's just where I'm learning the camera positions. So yeah, so the painting, because I'm getting back into the painting and we are not completing the models, I'm getting that need, that hunger for painting. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. Next week we will finish off issue 33. Let me give you a spoiler. You know I love giving you spoilers. I'm not super impressed with this, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm really sorry about the quality and the lighting, but that's the Griff Hound, so we will finish the Griff Hound. Now, the reason I'm not super happy with it is the majority of the paint is covered in what's called a contrast paint. I think some people are calling them speed paints, and I hate the word speed paint. The reason I don't like speed paints is because, for me, with Warhammer, the hobby is painting. A lot of people, the hobby is playing the games, and I totally get that. And you'll see a lot of videos about getting a massive army on the table really quickly to an acceptable standard. That's absolutely fine. I can't and won't play the games. I won't play the games. I have no interest in the games. I'm sorry if I've just turned off a potential 10,000 subscribers there, but I enjoy painting them, and that's what it's all about. So the idea of speed paints, I want to sit there and I want to enjoy it. The way I see it is, if you spend £25 on a model, on a figure, and you paint it in a day, it's cost you £175 a week's worth of models there, and that's what you need to keep your hobby alive. If you really take your time and say it takes 4 days to complete, you've got less than 50 quid a week. Obviously I'm talking quite extremes here, but you can see the difference. But also spending more time on it, taking your time, you do a better job, it enables you to do more. If you start setting yourself deadlines, what corners do you have to cut if you can't reach that deadline? So yeah, I'm all about the painting, and I really enjoy the painting, and this Warhammer magazine has really got me hungry for figures, which will bring me almost to Thursday. So Wednesday, I'm so happy you've now seen Wednesday's video for the bus. Stage 10, we have varnished the seats. What a difference that little bit of varnish has made. However, as you will begin to see on Wednesday's video, the size of the bus is giving me so many problems. It's giving me so many problems, in fact, that by the time we get to the end of this month, you will see that it's just almost defeated me, and I've had to change the entire plan for doing the bus. I wanted to do stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, until we get to the end. But to give myself more time on the body, I've jumped forward and done another sub-assembly, and then I've had to do another started another sub-assembly, so that it gives me more time to do the body. And then I've kind of conceded defeat and gone, right guys, I'm going to be doing this over the Christmas break. I'll come back in the new year, I'll tell you what I've got. Christmas, as far as the bus is concerned, Christmas has come just at the right time. It's given me 5 or 6 weeks away from the YouTube. I can do one little bit, wait overnight, do another little bit. Right now it's actually clamped up. I'm doing the roof, and the roof needs to be bent, and I'm experimenting with ideas to do the roof, which obviously you'll get to see later on. At the time of making this video, I don't know the results of those experiments. So Thursday, so I brought 2 videos out last Thursday. One was the review on Myth Forged. These are the subscription miniatures that I bought a few weeks back. The intention was to get a subscription box. We'll have a look at them. We'll do it over a 4-week period. We'll have a look at the miniatures in 1 week. And then we'll maybe do the base the 2nd week. We'll paint one figure up the 3rd week, and then we'll finish him off the 4th week. And every now and again there'll be a 5-week month, which means that we can get an extra week in to do whatever. However, I wasn't happy overall. I hope that the review that I did was fair. Some of the things that put me off may not put you off, and then there may be things that I was okay with that you would have been really bothered about. But I thought that for what I got, the quality I got, it wasn't quite worth the money, so I've steered away. However, I did want to do do miniatures, and I want to do these little 3D printed ones. They're great because then you're not stuck with one company. So I went out and bought a 3D printer, which was the best and the most stupid thing I can do, because it's actually a 3D resin printer. I haven't got the editing capabilities for this because I'm filming this on the laptop, but if you look up Elegoo Mars 4 Ultra, that is what I bought. I don't think it's very expensive for what it is. It is expensive, I'm not going to lie to you, but basically I shall now have the ability to print my own miniatures. Now on the one hand, I bought this at the best possible time because I'm now actually sorted out for miniature content right up to the new year. So that means I've got 2 months to figure this printer out. Now my experience of using a filament printer, that's the 3D printer that has the spool of plastic on the top and it comes through and it squirts layer by layer. My experience of that is that it's an extremely steep learning curve. Now I'm at the point, even though I've not touched for 3D printers now for a few years, mine are in the attic, mine are going to the new house with me. I am buying a new 3D printer, a filament printer by the way, spoiler. So I could pick up a printer and I have a rough idea. I suspect there would still be a learning curve now because I've not touched them for a few years. But that learning curve won't be as steep as a new user because I've already done the new user. But this is completely different. This is resin printing. Now, it's a lot. I'm watching a lot of videos now. The videos that I fully respect are the ones that really hammer in. This is potentially dangerous. You need a well ventilated room. You are dealing with resin. We all know as scale modelers, when you're filing resin, you always wear a respirator because of the dust particles. They're cancer causing. Well, liquid resin is just as bad, if not worse, because you've got the fumes coming up. At least with when you're sanding resin, you can take precautions. Sometimes people will wet the resin and that helps reduce the dust. But the fumes, you can't chuck water at fumes or anything. You know the fumes are coming. And then once you've done the minis, you then need to wash off the liquid resin, because obviously you put something in a bath of liquid, it's going to come out coated with the liquid. So you need to wash that off, and you're washing that with alcohol, which again is stinking to high heaven. So first of all, you need a well ventilated room. Now, is there any point in me setting up a 3D print station when I'm moving in just over a month? I don't know. I don't even know what this new house looks like because the guy hasn't moved out yet, and apparently I can't go down and see it until it's ready to move in. So I need to set a workstation up for it. Now whether that is a portion of the room that I can actually board off and turn a room into a room, or if it's actually a separate bedroom or something, I don't know. So yeah, in one sense it's a potentially stupid idea because I haven't got the time to do it, but on the other hand it's a good idea because I've got lots of time to do it. So I'm not going to say 3D printed miniatures is coming to my channel in the new year, because that's a promise I may not be able to keep. What I will say is my own 3D printed miniatures will be coming sometime. So what goes with that? Well, you need to get the miniatures from somewhere. I have found a company called Loot Studios. You pay them a small amount of money each month and they give you loads of miniatures. Now when I say loads of miniatures, I mean loads of miniatures. Because I've just signed up, they give you loads of extras. So they've actually given me a house, so I can build a house. So this is all set up for D&D campaigns, so it's all stuff for the Dungeon Master. So what part of the welcome pack is this tavern, and you print off, there's about 20, 30, 40 pieces, and it builds a 2-story tavern. So you actually have the floor and the walls, and then you can place the second floor on top, and then you have the roof on top. It's a little bit like playing with a doll's house, really, isn't it? You lift the roof off and there's the top floor, you lift the top floor off and there's the bottom floor. So that is something that I really want to do, and that I think that'll be quite simple because it's all walls and stuff, isn't it? I am working on a mini which I'm painting, one of the Myth Forged ones. Really happy with the results. So that will be coming out Thursday, because see, this is another thing, the Myth Forged, it gives you no information about the miniatures. Here's some little balls of black plastic, open them up, all pieces of mini. I don't know what they are. Let me show you. This is a spoiler, guys. So one of the minis that I got, and I've shown you on Thursday, I've begun to paint him. Right, now he looks a little bit like a Beastman to me. He's kind of a horse type, furry, aggressive, angry creature. So I think he's a bit Beastman. He's not a Beast Lord because he's epic. This guy is epic. So I've called him Epic Beast Lord. Did I call him Epic Beast Lord? What have I called him? Yeah, Epic Beast Boss. That's what I've called him. I'm not wrong, but it's not a great name, is it? I don't think there is such thing as an Epic Beast Boss. But he's the boss of bosses by the looks of it. But he's coming to my channel starting this Thursday, beginning with so stage 1, I've done it in 4 stages. Stage 1 I have focused mainly on the base, and I'm going to give you a spoiler. This is the base. It's not quite finished. I had an issue with Amazon. I bought some basing materials for it, and it was supposed to come roughly at about the same time I was due to finish painting this, and it didn't. It was supposed to be here at like 4:30 in the afternoon, and it got to 10 o'clock, and then all of a sudden I see this Amazon guy. I'm tracking him on the Amazon app, and he gets almost to my house, and then all of a sudden he disappears, and I see him. He's actually heading towards Glasgow. Well, it's not Glasgow. His depot is between Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's a place called Euro Park. So I see him. He's going. And then all of a sudden my Amazon update changes. We're unable to deliver. We will deliver in 2 days. And I'm like, what the hell? This is supposed to be next day delivery. So I just got on with the video, and I closed the video. So I've called the base done, but it's not actually done. And all I was waiting for was this. Just a little bit of greenery just to pop on the base, just to make it pop. But one of the things I'm really pleased with, I've always been above average with stone. Is that fair to say? I've always been okay with stonework. But what I've done is I've really forced those highlights from that angle. But if you look at it from this angle, you can see it just looks a little bit darker. So it's all about object lighting, and that's something that I'm doing. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. The other video I brought out, I had no space for it anyway, so I just chucked it out. I have found an absolutely awesome for the price. I'm going to call it a model organizer. What it actually is a makeup, it's a rotating makeup stand. Go and check the video out if you haven't seen it already. It's a rotating makeup stand with adjustable shelves, and it's just absolutely perfect. So I'm spinning mine right now, and it's fantastic, and it means that I've got one for paints that I'm using now for current projects, and I can divide it into 4, which means that I can work on 4 different projects. And I've got one for sundries, and I've got another one for miniatures that I'm working on at the moment until I sort them, miniatures that need sorting. So I've just had a notification from shop. How are your items from Mythforged? Review them to let us know what you think. I think we'll just ignore that email, and then that way it won't. Sometimes it's best to say nothing. So yeah, so that I thought that was pretty good. I've got another 2 reviews coming out shortly. I've been asked to try something. I've had to buy it myself, but I've been asked to try something, and I'm currently playing with them. So I'm not sure how the reviews will go, because at the moment I'm on the fence. So Friday the Lancaster came out. Now I've done a double episode for Friday, because for 2 reasons. One, it helps me catch up by one episode. And also what I was actually doing, it was far easier to do. So if you remember earlier on, I did the front fuselage, front left, one side of the fuselage. I did the front one week, I did the back the next week, and then I glued them together the following week. As an experiment, the next side, the other side, I glued them together first. So I'm now painting it, and if I've done the other fuselage in 2 halves, which I have no conscience about, because Harshett would probably do it in about 4 episodes or 10 episodes. So I just thought, well, I can't paint up to that join line and then go, we'll paint the rest of it next week. So I've painted it all in one go, and I've called it 2 episodes, and I think that's absolutely fine. Next week is, this week we're doing some weathering. So I'm doing the weathering, and I'm quite happy with the weathering. It could do with a little bit of tuning up, but as you can see, it's a little bit grubby, but not filthy. And whether that could be considered over weathered, I don't know. But here's a little cheat for you guys. That's the other one. I say that's over weathered. But here's a little cheat for you guys. This is a clay-based weathering material, and what that means is I made this 2-3 weeks ago, so that weathering has been sat on there a good 2-3 weeks. I can reactivate that at any time and reduce the weathering. If I want to just tone it down a bit, I can do it any time. Likewise, if I want to increase the amount of weathering, I can just chuck more of it on. So yeah, weathering. So I'm going to be weathering the fuselage. Next week we're having a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? We have a new piece of equipment and we're doing some testing. So there's no actual building. I've got to the point now where I'm doing a lot of non-building episodes. And I just thought, do you know what? If I can get a few of them out of the way before Christmas, we can start the new year, and then we can really just get on with the building. I'm ever so sorry. I'm going to have a little ciggy, and if you don't like smokers, I'm sorry. This is my channel, my house. My new house, I'm going to be strictly no smoking from day one, except on the balcony. And when I'm on stream, I'm going to be when I'm at the desk, I'm going to be vaping. So yeah, so for the new year, we'll be cracking on with building. And what I'm going to be looking at doing is looking at all the areas that the Harshett Lancaster has done, and we'll try and get those done. It might mean flitting about a little bit, but it means we'll have a direct comparison. And I think, yes, so the week after next we do have a comparison, and the results will blow you away. If I said to you that the size is incorrect, some of the scaling is wrong, and I said to you, do you think it's the Hong Kong one or do you think it's the Harshett one? Which one would you say? The result will surprise you. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to tell you which is which. So that then brings us on to Saturday. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? If a YouTuber makes a video they're not super impressed with, they really shouldn't be releasing the videos. Now, I'm not super impressed with my Saturday videos at the moment. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. What I'm doing is I'm doing the Harshett Lancaster catch-up. I'm trying to get extra views here, and I'm actually saying it's not very good. It's the best video I could put out. But what I'm doing is I'm doing the Lancaster catch-up. Once we reach issue 21, from 22 onwards, I'm actually building. And spoiler, I have already built issues 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27, and they have been videoed. They won't be coming out till January. I don't know why I built them, but you know what some of these part works are like. I wanted to do a little bit of building, so I got on and did a little bit of building, and I actually had to stop and go, whoa, I could quite easily have built all the way up to the current issue. So yeah, could have quite easily done that. In fact, I'm quite tempted to just sit there and film them every now and again and just pump them out whatever day of the week it is. I don't care. Here we go, Lancaster catch up. In the new year we probably could do a Lancaster catch up, so long as the Harshette video is released. If I bring out the Hong Kong version 20 weeks later, I've still got something to compare it against. So yeah, I think the reason I'm not impressed with it is because I've not actually done any building. My channel's all about building stuff, and I'm sitting there with a pointy stick going, right, that bit goes in there, that bit goes in there, that's the bit you've done. So yeah, that's probably the reason why. And then that takes us up to Sunday, where all I've got planned is the channel update. Now I'm trying to plant the seeds so it's a nice easy transition. 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 more channel updates now until my channel goes Christmas. From the 1st of December will be no more channel updates until the 5th of January. The 5th of January will be the 12th day of Christmas, so I feel we need a channel update for that one. And then my channel updates will go 12 o'clock noon my time. Clocks went back last week, so from last week I'm guessing some people are used to, like if you're in Australia, you're probably used to my videos coming out at a certain time, and now suddenly there's 2 hours difference or something where our clocks have fallen back and yours have sprung forward or something like that. So it's probably screwed everybody up. I can't see, in this modern world, I can't see the point in modern daylight saving anymore. I don't know what it achieves. Once a year I'm like, I don't want to work because I'm not prepared to work an extra hour and not get paid for it. And then 6 months later I'm going, can I work that shift because I want to get paid 13 hours for doing 12 hours work. And I can't see the point. I think in this modern age, I don't think it serves any purpose anymore. I can see it in, I don't know, I try and work out the real effect of the time changing on the sunlight in the day. I believe it gets earlier lighter, so when I'm in bed it's getting lighter earlier, but it's also getting darker earlier. So just as I get going in the day, I'm like, where's the sunlight gone? Now I think daylight saving came about to help people like farmers, labourers. A lot of people used to be labourers. So with there being less light, you want to get up a little bit earlier so you can get ready for the sunrise, get on the fields, work the fields, and then you'll be finishing an hour early. And then obviously in the summertime you've got more time to work on the field. But we aren't labourers anymore, we work normal jobs, and we don't want to be walking home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the dark worrying if someone's going to mug us or something. Now that's probably quite bleak. So yes, so from the 1st of December there will be no channel update for about a month. Then we go over to the Advent. That will be coming out at 6 in the morning. I did the Advent calendar last year at 6 in the morning. I won't be up at 6. Absolutely guarantee that. I'll be only just gone to bed. But it means you can wake up and open your Advent calendar. That's the theory behind it. Then we will be doing the 12 days of Epic starter sets. That will be coming out at 6 p.m, which is my normal scheduling time. And then the channel update from the 5th of January will move to a new time slot of noon. The reason I've done that is that if I want to put anything else out on a Sunday, a pre-recorded video, for whatever reason, I've then got that 6 p.m. slot spare. So you will begin to know that 6 o'clock is my content time, 12 o'clock will be my update time. And to be honest with you, there's a couple of YouTubers I watch every single week. You've got Gary's stuff, he does his weekly updates, and he releases that at 7 in the morning. And when I wake up on a Monday morning, I quickly check my notifications like I always do, emails and everything else. Oh, Gary's released a video. Nice one. So I can sit there with a cup of coffee and a cigarette watching Gary's stuff. You know, some of the stuff interests me, what's coming to the channel this week. And likewise, Model Kit Stuff, he releases his video generally on a Saturday. And again, that's, oh great, Model Kit Stuff's released their video, great, I can sit and watch that. Building with the Boys tends to come out quite late at night, which does work for me, because what happens is, because his is late at night, his tends to come out just before I go to bed, and I like to watch a little bit of YouTube in bed. The disadvantage for Building with the Boys, or possibly advantage, if I'm really tired, I may fall asleep halfway through. That's not a reflection of his videos, it's a reflection of how tired I am. So then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I didn't see the second half, so I've got to watch it again. So that might be a good thing. But yeah, so I'm going to bring it out a little bit earlier, Sunday 12 o'clock. Do people still do traditional Sunday, bit of time with the family, you know, lunch at 2 o'clock ish, and then the evening is your own? But yeah, so that'll be coming out 12 o'clock. And Sunday, right, so that's why I've done 12 o'clock. So the pencil plan, the idea is from the 12th of January, Sunday evenings will be my miniature painting. It will be temporarily my miniature painting slot. Once the Warhammer is finished, and the Warhammer won't finish for a long time, because we're up to issue 36, there's 80 issues, and each issue is taking at least 2 weeks. But once Warhammer's finished, the miniatures will go over to the Tuesday, and I'll be doing like miniature of the month. So talking of the miniatures, Loot Studios, if you have a 3D printer, a resin 3D printer, and you want miniatures, I've been a member now for 1 month, and I think it's fantastic. Now, I've been a member for about a week. They've given me that month's pack, and they've given me all the starter extras. Apparently there's a load of stuff you get just for joining, and then once you buy your second month's membership, they give you loads more stuff. There's a couple of individual minis where they're trying to promote certain packs, so they give you 1 mini from that pack for free, and everything you get is yours to download and keep forever. However, they bring their new packs out on the 1st of the month, and I had a look this morning, and I've actually received the next pack. So I've got two packs plus a welcome pack for 1 month's money. Now, obviously what happens is when I pay my second month, I won't get anything. Well, I'll get my welcome pack, and once I've been a member for a few months, all I'll get is just access to the site. But it's really good. I've got so much I can print off. I want to try and bring in, see, this is the thing, right? One thing I'd love to paint, and I've not really done many of them. There is a dragon with the next, it's called Arthurian tales, King Arthur, Arthurian tales, is it? And one of the figures is a dragon, and it just, I just can't wait to review it, guys, because it just looks absolutely fantastic. The whole thing looks fantastic. So that's the week. One other thing that I want to talk about, I found a gap in YouTube that I would like to see. So I'm planning a video this time next year. I know it's a long way off, and if anybody wants to jump in and do the video instead and beat me to it, I'm more than happy. The burning questions that I've got is, when you do a 3D resin print, you need to wash it in alcohol. Some people do a double wash, so they wash and then they put it in another bucket, and that preserves some of that alcohol. I've seen videos on straining alcohol to get all the resin out, which doubles, triples, or even quadruples the life of alcohol. I've also seen water washable resin, so you wash the resin in water. I've seen people who use water soluble resin, they wash it in water and then they give it a wash in alcohol as well, which I agree with, because I think alcohol is better at cleaning than water. So that's probably what I'll do. I've got the cleaning station, and all it is a bucket, and it's got a little turny thing, but it's magnet controlled, and the actual unit is just a plate with a magnet on the bottom, and it's turning the magnet which will turn the wash bucket. So when you buy another wash bucket, you just get a plastic bucket with this little bit in the bottom, so you can put one water in one and alcohol in the other. So you take the print off, chuck it in the water, put that unit water on the unit, turn it on for, I don't know how long you wash them for, let's say 5 minutes. So chuck it on for 5 minutes, take the mini out, put it into the alcohol, it should be clean, put it in. Now over time that alcohol becomes dead, just like everything does. Your paint water becomes dead, you know, engine oil becomes dead, you need to change it. And then you dispose of it. Now let's not delve into dispose of, because there are lawful ways to dispose of it, and I won't do anything unlawful. But at the end of the day, it needs to go from my house to not being in my house. Now the question I have is, and no one seems to be able to answer this, how long does the alcohol last? Now I don't mean in terms of it'll last you 6 months or 3 months. I know the answer is, it depends how many minis you print. The more minis you print, the quicker it gets dirty, the quicker you throw it away. But I want to know in real terms. Now water soluble resin is more expensive than alcohol washing normal resin by about £4 per 2 kilos. I found 2 kilo tubs, but it's about £2, £3, £4 more expensive per kilo for water soluble resin. But it means you don't have to buy the alcohol. Well, I will buy alcohol as well, but so what I want to know is, are you spending £4 to save £2, or are you spending £4 to save £50? If it's actually cheaper to buy the cheaper resin and then buy alcohol, but that alcohol lasts long enough, then obviously it's not worth me buying the water soluble. So what I am going to do is, starting from when I bought the printer, absolutely everything that I buy, I am going to document down, and then I am going to make a video out this time next year, which is going to be, this is what it's actually cost me. I can look on my slicer software and I can go, right, I'm going to print that mini off and it's going to cost me £1.50. Lovely. here's a mini which GW would probably sell for 50 quid and it's cost me £1.50. Well, hey, 3D printing is cheaper. But then you've got to factor in the electricity cost. So I will be taking a time on each print, and I will be looking at my unit cost on the electric plus VAT. So we'll work out. So now that £1.50 might come out at £2.25. We need to look at the cost of the printer. It's cost me £400. I've had it a year, so that's so much per week. Blah 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 blah, and I'm going to work out the true cost of doing a mini, and then I can then say, right, so the actual cost of the mini and making the mini is this much, but when you factor in the cost of this, I found it useful to buy this. So that all needs to be, if you buy a scraper for £5, a lot of people might not put that into the cost. But if that miniature, if you do 57 print beds worth of prints and then it snaps, you then need to buy another one. You need to say, right, well, this batch has cost me 10 pence per print bed, or whatever it is, 50, 10, 10, yeah, something like that. So this time next year I will be bringing out a video, my first year, the true cost of doing minis. But I got a feeling that water soluble resin is more expensive, because I don't think the alcohol, these buckets, by the way, they're 7 litres, but you don't need to put 7 litres in. You need to put enough in to cover your meat. You get a little basket, and it's like a chip basket. You imagine frying chips. So you have your basket, you put your chips in, you dunk it in the oil. The oil fryer might have a capacity of 50 litres, but you might only put 25 litres in, because you only need to put enough in to cover the chips. And that's the same with the minis. So I'll do the double wash, I'll look at the filtration. Now, disposal of water is far easier. Alcohol, you need to do something specific with it, and then you need to cure the resin. You need to filter it out. Now, I've spoken to the council about the water washable one, and they have told me all I need to do is pour this water into a sealable container, wrap that container in a bag, I suppose cling film is fine, and dispose of it in your landfill bin. I think that's odd, but I've got it written down. And then I was talking to my friend, I said, where can I get some sealable containers where I can put some water in that's got resin in? And she said, well, you drink 4 pints of milk every 2 days, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. She said, well, what about that then? And I'm like, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some, every time I get a milk bottle, I'm going to rinse it out. I don't know how much water I'm going to dispose of at a time. Guys, I've been rabbiting on for an hour. Can you believe that? So yeah, I'm going to fill up 2 litres at a time. I'm going to wrap it. I'm then going to make some labels, and it's going to say this contains a mix of water and liquid resin. This is disposed under advice of South Lanarkshire Council, blah 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 blah. So it should cover me butt. Right guys, I do think I've covered everything. If you are still watching, you're now thinking about something else to watch. If you haven't watched it already, head over to Building with the Boys. Handsome Jack. Do you know what? Handsome Jack Heartthrob he's posted another video out. He's had a tag team match. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but what I am going to say, in my opinion, Handsome Jack Heartthrob gets better with every fight he does. It's kind of what you'd expect. He's a kid, he's learning, but he's really good, really good. So head over to Building with the Boys, watch that. A thoroughly enjoyable match, even though there was an event that, I will be honest with you, some people might be put off by the event, but if you can just work your way through that event, absolutely brilliant. I loved that fight he had. So Yeah, that's it from me, guys. I will see you next week. I hope you enjoy the content I've got for you this week. Take care. From me, Shadow and Spirit, have a wonderful week. Bye bye.